Turn the page, light the spark. Magic lingers after dark. Plot twist, heartbreak, dragons too. Book club chaos coming through. Spoilers fly and curses sweep. Grab your favorite fantasy ship. Nikki and Justine are here. Your new book besties in your ear. Welcome to the Uncensored Authentic Book Club podcast, where the stories are magical and the opinions are unhinged.
Welcome to the Uncensored Authentic Book Club podcast. We're your hosts, Nikki and
Justine.
we are just two girls who love books. And honestly, we love talking about them even more, especially the books that we read, right? I mean, I could talk about any book, to be honest with you. So if you're someone who gets way too invested in fictional characters, has strong opinions about plot twists, or just loves a good book chat, you're in the right place. We are so excited to book club with you guys today. But before we dive in, we do want to do a quick heads up. This is your official and final warning. There will be spoilers. We talk characters, plots, plot twists, everything, okay? So spoilers are ahead. And there will be some language. Unfortunately, well, or fortunately,
Fortunately for me, because I don't have to censor myself.
right?
so.
We are called Uncensored for a reason. So, welcome back to the second part of Accomplice to the Villain. Okay, we are going to do the next 30 chapters in this book. Okay, so we left off with Evie and the villain having this little fight after we met Lionel, who was the curse consultant. Okay, and he's like, I can't lose you. He, again, distancing himself, but trying to protect her, also dragging her, I'm gonna say, through the mud at this point.
I mean,
like,
yeah, that's what it seems like.
Like you said, it's no longer helpful. It's unfortunately hurting her
Yep.
and screwing with her psyche. But however, obviously the villain knows that at the manor we had two traders come in. A lot of shit's happening. How did King Benedict get in? You know, he's like, what is happening? Like, we need to redefine our defenses, right? So at his request, Becky decides to contact Roland, which is her brother.
Yes,
Okay.
the oldest one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So Roland shows back up and he's there to check the Thorny Grove to see if the magic's been tampered with or anything like that, to see if they can reinforce it. Okay. So I don't know how he got there, but he got there. Roland shows up. No magic has been tampered with the Thorny Grove. However, physically the Thorny Grove has a path and like a little alcove in it, right? So someone came in with, like, I'm thinking an axe and just started chopping away, making their way through it. Okay. At the same part, they also find footprints. Okay. So they're like, obviously this isn't something that was already here. This is something that's new. It's been used quite frequently. This is how they're getting in and out.
Mhm.
Gideon also decides to help out and draw up a map of the Gleaming Palace's tunnels system so that they can go back and get the female Guarv or Gibra, whatever. To me, when they're describing the scene, though, I feel like he drew it in like crayon, and it's very sloppy the way they the way they tease him about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. And Keely's like
doing that.
and Keely's like, this is the best you could come up with? Okay.
I keep being like, and there's a tower over here, and then this is us little stick people, and we're running in, and Keely, all right, sounds
like,
good.
Good job,
This map is
Gideon. Good
not gonna help
job.
us at all. We need to find something else.
So we're getting back. So that's their plan, right? So Roland's gonna help, fortify the Thorny Grove, and Gideon's gonna work with the Malevolent Guard to try to get back the female Guarv. Okay. While they're doing that, the villain, Evie, Tati, and Claire all decide that they need to travel to the Southern Kingdom, where Alexander Kingsley, okay, that's where he's from.
Yep.
They need to travel to the Southern Kingdom for the Enchantress, the one that originally cast this curse. Now, he wasn't cursed just because he was a prince or anything like that. The Enchantress was actually hired by Amara, who is Tristan's mother, to stop the villain from doing something as he was a child, but then Kingsley showed up first and got in the way of it, and that's how he became a frog. It was very chaotic. I'm not entirely, yeah. So that's what they do. However, to get into the Southern Kingdom, because I'm assuming there's like this dome over it, like this magical dome, they
Yes.
need a wand. Okay. And an ally of the villain has said wand. Okay. So he's like, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go get it. You know, it's going to be fine. We also find out that the villain has been giving Evie in her office white roses and the vanilla candies this entire time, every single day.
But he signs them from Marv, doesn't
He signs them from Marv so that she doesn't know. However, there also was a white rose in that outside dinner.
Yeah, come
So
on,
we all know
Tristan.
she knows. She knows it's from him, right?
I didn't make that connection. Yeah, I could never be on these books.
I clocked that.
I'd die in 2 seconds. Like, give me a riddle to solve.
Don't
I'm
get me-
done.
I don't think I connected it the first time I read this book, but I definitely connected it the second time. I was like, oh, a white rose. You mean like the same white
Yeah.
roses that end up on her desk from Marv every day?
Did not connect that.
So that's when we find that out. We also find out that him and Evie are having like this little spat in her office because he doesn't want Evie to go to retrieve the wand.
Yeah.
He's
Once
like
again, he's trying to stop her from
doing things.
going on the mission.
Yeah. So of course she's hurt and upset by this. Okay. She's having this whole conversation with the villain in the office, and then Claire and Tati end up popping in because nobody goes anywhere alone. And they end up talking about her magical powers with the ink and wondering if Evie still had some of the notes that were given to Lissa that were slipped under her door to like let her go down to talk to her father and let him out, basically. And Evie's like, yeah, like I do have them, you know? And she's like, okay, well, if you go get them, maybe I can look them over, use my magical ink, see if there's anything that we can do with those. So she's like, okay, like I'll go get them. So she goes off to her room where she sees Lissa and Nora having a sweet moment looking at butterflies, and she hits a twinge of jealousy because she wants those moments too with her mom without, you know. But she's like, okay, like Lissa obviously deserves that, whatever, what have you. Glad they're getting together. And she's like, Lissa, like, why don't you go downstairs and talk to Edwin about some baking thing? And she's like, you're trying to get rid of me. And she's like, yes, I am. And she's like, okay, I love you, bye. And so Nora is like, hey, like, obviously I know something's up with you. You're my daughter. Like, I know something's going on. Why don't you just talk to me about it? And she's like, honestly, I don't know if I can. And Nora's like, I promise you, I'm a big girl. I can handle it. It's going to be fine. Can you please just be honest with me? So he decides to be honest with her. And she is tired of being a nice and good girl. And she's like, she tells her, you weren't there for Lissa. You weren't there for me. I had to get a job. I had to do all this stuff and be an adult because you weren't there, you know? And she's like, and as she's doing this, obviously her mom is getting hurt feelings, but she's trying to be, you know, she is being nice about it. She's like, I understand, you know, all this stuff, but her feelings are obviously hurt from this. Obviously. And unfortunately, as Evie goes to leave, she's like, obviously you're getting upset. We'll just drop it. We'll talk about it later. And she's like, let's not leave it here. Nora's like, let's not leave it like this. Like, let's talk a little bit more. And she's like, no. Evie goes to leave. And of course, Nora Starlight bounces out of her.
I'm starting to get annoyed with Nora Starlight.
The lack of control this woman has. She has like her whole life to fucking control it.
What I don't understand.
Like Tristan's 29 and has better control.
This is not new magic for
Right.
you. Like, why
Right.
is it that it gets so worked up and it just explodes all the time?
Right. I'm assuming it has to do with her emotions, and it's mainly emotion based. Maybe I don't know how magic works, to be honest with you.
Neither do I.
So I don't know. Anyway, it goes and flies at her, but her shoulder's tingling before that even happens. So she grabs her magical dagger and deflects it. And she's like, see, I knew this was going to happen. I'm leaving. She's crying now. Yeah. Right. This whole thing with her mom just happened. She's not allowed on the trip with the villain to go get the wand. She is just not happy and visibly upset. Knowing that she was in danger with the gold ring, the villain's there right outside her door. And he like takes her and grabs her, and they both go into like this cupboard closet type of thing. And he wants her to confide in him, and she's not.
She is not the time, sir.
No. He's like, and this is his inner monologue. He's trying to like think, like, what happened? Talk to me. Like, what's going on? I know that you're upset. And she's like, dude, just stop. Like, I am so sick and tired of everything. I'm sick and tired of you. I'm sick and tired of my mom. Like, we're done with this. Like, I'm leaving. Goodbye. She goes to leave. And he's like, in his head, he's like, I just wish you would confide in me. And I'm like, how could you say that when you constantly push her away?
Yeah.
And because of that, she feels that she isn't his choice. You know, like he's not choosing her over Destiny, over this, over anything.
Which he's not.
Right. So I think to make her happy, he then allows her to come with him to retrieve the wand. So Evie does get to go on this adventure.
Naturally. It's not like he would ever go without her.
Right. I mean, there was always going to be something that allowed her to go, but I do feel like because of that moment, I almost kind of hate that he does that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll just make you happy. You can come with us. And it's like, okay, we're not really addressing the real issue here. We're just, it's like sending apology flowers.
That's a common theme with Tristan. Yeah.
Yeah. They're apology flowers, essentially.
Yeah.
Which we do not accept apology flowers.
No.
So I feel like that is where they're at. So Evie's like, okay, I get to go. I have to pack. So she and Tati are having a very sweet moment in Tati's quarters. They're packing their stuff to go. And Becky comes in. Okay. And this is like a different side of Becky. Okay. Because she comes in and she's asking for advice on how to flirt with men and how to talk to them. And she's like, I think I'm infatuated with Blade. And they're like, oh my God, you have a crush. And she's like, no, it's just an infatuation, not a crush. And they're like, you have a crush. You have a crush. Like, I could just imagine them sitting there talking, having this sweet moment and be like, Blade and Becky sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
100% that happened. 100% that happened.
By the end of their little conversation and their little girls chat, they're very sweet. They're like, I've never had friends, like other girlfriends, to like talk about stuff like this before. You know, Becky grew up with a lot of brothers. Evie was the mom in this situation. She had a younger sister. You know,
Tati's an only child, isn't she?
Tati is an only child.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to see the girlhood of it all too, you know, which is nice. So they pack, they get ready. Becky's staying at the manor, but Tati, Claire, the villain, Kingsley, and Evie,
the Fantastic Five,
really
the ones who they go everywhere together. I don't actually think that they are
Blade's also
allowed
staying at the manor
to go anywhere without at least the four of them. Claire, Tati, Evie, and Tristan. They're the only ones who are allowed to leave the manor on missions.
Yes.
They're the only
and
ones.
And then Kingsley just ends up following along.
He just ends up coming. Yeah, exactly. But
so
it's always them.
Yes. So those, we'll say four.
Four.
Go ahead. And because, you know, he just decides to pop up one random second, Kingsley. And so those four decide to set off on their trail to the ally. Okay. Where they can get the wand. And the villain is upset that Evie is still silent on their journey, right? And he's trying to talk to her. He's like, let me tell you how I found out about this wand. You know, this ally of mine, he invites me over all the time. He thought he could lure me, being boastful and all proud to have it, you know, all this other stuff. And he's like waiting for her to reply, and she says nothing. And he's like, oh shit. This is bad.
I love Evie's villain era. If this is how it starts, I'm about it.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm not talking, whatever. And Tati or Claire, they're like, hey, like it's been a while, like we've been riding for a while, like we need to stop and rest. And he's like, nope, we're not stopping. We're going. Like I told you before we left, like we're not stopping to rest. We are going straight through. And they're like, no, like we should. And he's like, we're not doing it. And then he looks over at Evie Sage, who's yawning and is tired. And immediately they stop to rest.
He's like, we're pulling over right here.
Literally. He was like, all right, everybody, we're stopping right here. It's fine. We're just clearing. He gets off his horse. He goes straight over to her, helps her off the horse before she falls off. And she's like, I thought we weren't stopping for anything. And he's like, we're stopping.
I made this decision because I wanted to.
Right. Of course. So while they're stopped, of course, they get attacked because they can't have 10 seconds.
They can't go anywhere without getting attacked.
But they get attacked
on them.
You're right. But however, it's not the Valiant Guard, which is a good thing this time.
Right.
So they get attacked and they all get sedatives. And the villain is going absolutely crazy. He's like, get your hands off her. Like, he's trying to stay awake for her. And she's trying to protect him with her body. Like, it's a whole thing as they're like falling out of consciousness, right? So they get knocked unconscious. Okay. When they wake up, Claire and Tati wake up in a library. And they're like,
oh
yeah,
my gosh.
they're like, where the hell are we? So they wake up in a library. They go over, they find like this window thing in a balcony. They go over to the balcony. They look down. They realize they're essentially in this big ass tree house. And the way I pictured it was like a mansion woven in like this really big magical kind of tree, right? Because it has to hold up this big house. So they're like, well, I guess we're not going that way. And the butler's like,
get
hey,
down.
like, the butler's like, hey, your friends are in the air. It's fine. They'll be back soon. And they're like, what are you talking about? They'll be back soon. What do you mean? Like, we need our friends. He's like, they're fine. And they're like, what? So then it cuts to the villain and Evie. They are in a hot air balloon, essentially.
Yep.
That is what it is. They just don't say hot air balloon. And with this person. And this person ends up being Lord Fowler. Okay. Now, Lord Fowler is like up there, and Evie wakes up first, of course, in the arms of Tristan.
Of course,
because even in his unconsciousness,
they were
he grabbed her to protect her
naturally
and held on to her. So she wakes up first, and she's talking to this guy, and she's like trying to get him to talk, to like distract him so that the villain can wake up, right? So she's like, no, like, what are you doing? You kidnapped us. Like, what's happening? Like, he's not going to be happy when he wakes up. All this other stuff. Villain wakes up, and he's like, what the hell? Blah blah blah. Throws Lord Fowler off of the balloon, and then he starts lowering the balloon. Lord Fowler just, I guess, has magic, and his magic is being able to fly, which the villain knew. So he wasn't actually going.
So that's why he knocked him. He knows who he is. Yeah.
Yes. So he comes back in. He's like, ha ha ha! I expected nothing less from you. And Evie's like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, I'm Lord Fowler. I have the wand. The villain and I are like friends, essentially allies. I will give you the wand. No problem, no questions asked. If you do one thing in return from me. I've been trying for years to get the villain to attend a dinner party. I want you to attend a dinner party tonight, a themed dinner party tonight. And the villain, of course, is like, absolutely not. One, I don't socialize. Two, we're not here for that. Like, absolutely no. And Evie's like, okay.
Yeah, she's like, a party.
Yeah. She's like, sure. So Evie agrees on behalf of them. And he's like, great. I'll take you down to meet your friends. They go down. They meet Tati and Claire. Everyone's okay. It's kind of awkward between Claire and and Tristan because, they're brother and sister. But they're like, are you okay? Yeah, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay.
You good?
And like,
okay,
that's
cool.
it. And then he's like, all right, cool. Like, we'll get you guys dressed for your themed, all that stuff. And I'm like, okay. At the same time that this is going on, okay, Keely is sent a missive, and she is now on a mission with the Malevolent Guard. Okay.
And
hold on. She's on a mission with the Malevolent Guard to steal the female Guarve or Guargira back.
Whatever it's called. The thing.
However, they have a follower, and the follower is Gideon. Okay, he is following her because he is suspicious of her because she knew information that she wasn't supposed to know. So he's like, I'm not failing my sister again. I'm gonna follow her and see if my suspicion is true. So obviously, Keely, being who Keely is, knows that he is following her, and she's like, would you like to join us instead? And he's like, I was following you, and she's like, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So they have like a cute little moment together. And this is where I put in parentheses, they like each other. They're coupling for sure. Like, so like as of right now, yeah.
We've got the villain and Evie, and we've got Tati and Claire, and we've got Gideon and Keely. Which is cute. It is cute. But this could have been a novella.
Yeah. I was just going to say, this is where I'm going to say, I think them all coupling up together is cute. However, it adds, unfortunately, nothing to the story, at least as of now, adds nothing to the actual plot of the story. And there are too many couples that I genuinely don't care. Like, is it cute? Yes, but I don't care enough. And it could have been a novella for me.
Well, that's my thing is at this point, I am so emotionally invested in Tristan and Evie's relationship.
Yes. And
so
they could have hinted at everybody else getting back
Sure.
to getting together, but like I didn't need to know when they kiss, what they do. I don't need to know all that.
No. I need to know when Tristan and Evie do that.
Yes.
I need to be
100
right in the room with them, next to them
100%.
while everything is happening is what
I think that says a lot about you, Justine.
It might. What I'm saying, Nikki, is I don't want to miss a beat of their relationship. And I feel like when we keep going back to these other relationships, we're missing so many beats. Like half of this book is in other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
That could have been half of the book that we got more of Evie and Tristan.
Oh, the thing too is like if you just read the Evie and villain chapters, this book would probably be like 20 chapters long.
20 chapters. Yeah, maybe. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the majority of this book, half of this book are other people's point of views.
Yeah, 100%.
In relationships.
So back at Lord Fowler's house.
Oh, here we go. We're back at Lord Fowler's.
Back and forth. Yeah, we're back at Lord Fowler's house.
Yep.
They all get dressed for the dinner party. Tati and Evie have a cute little moment where she's like, what do you think of my dress? And Tati's like, you're going to send him to his knees. And she's like, that's the point.
That is what I was going for.
Yeah. So they're all dressed up as like magical creatures for this party. So one of them's like the little office pixies. Tati and Claire are other magical creatures. The villain is a demon.
Sure.
Literally has little horns on his head, a red cape, a red silk shirt. Like he is dressed as a demon.
Love it.
Kingsley is a jester. Like they put him in like a little jester outfit, you know, with a hat and everything. And Evie Sage is nothing other than a siren. And if you know anything about sirens, they lure men to their doom, their death.
They do. Yes, they do.
So I think that is just so forth-telling because the villain is okay. We get the villain's point of view right now, and he is like, "I'm not gonna look at her." Well, if I just look at her, she's just a person. I'm just gonna look, and then it'll be fine. I'm not gonna look at her. Like he is going back and forth. Like he is struggling so hard, trying not to like eat Evie up. Basically, yeah. And he's like, I'm just going to look at her. So he fails miserably and he just is soaking her all in head to toe, looking at her. He feels like he's on fire. He feels like he's hard and rigid everywhere. Everywhere. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And he just wants to tug that netting right off of her body. He says that.
I wish he would.
And you know what?
Moment.
And the best thing about this is Evie is enjoying this. She's loving him not being speechless and like devouring her with her eyes. She's even like, oh, I could put Kingsley in my pocket. Do I have any on me, sir? And does like a full little spin just to show off, you know? And he's like, no, there's no pockets.
I love this. This is what I want.
Yes, it is the best. It's also the part where he confesses that, or he doesn't say it out loud, but in his head, he confesses to us readers that he took a picture that Evie had drawn of him and he keeps it in his pocket every day. And so Kingsley goes to his pocket to like retrieve it. And he's like, oh, no, he just wants to be in someone's pocket. It's fine. Let's go. Let's enter the party.
Swoon. How cute
I
is
know,
that?
isn't it? So as they're at the party, this one guy, he's called the Destroyer. He decides to try to steal Evie's ring, the gold ring off of her finger, not knowing that it is attached to her. Yeah. Obviously, the villain's like, get your grubby hands off of her. And he like flings him into the wall. And the Destroyer's like, and he just plays cards. And as that
he's
happens,
like, I got the hint, actually. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. He was like, nah, I'm just gonna go play some cards. As it happens, as the Destroyer flies, a flyer comes out of his pocket, and it's the Wicked Woman, right? And it's one of those caricatures.
You hate this word. Caricatures. No, I can't say it. It's one of those
cartoon drawings.
Yeah. You all know what
like,
we're talking about.
Nothing like you. Yeah. And it's of her. And she's like, oh, they took some liberties with my cleavage. And she's like, mine are much smaller. And he goes, your breasts are perfect. The villain says, your breasts are perfect.
And did she pass away? Because I would have.
She didn't. She just goes, "Are you sure? I don't really know." And like they just have like a whole conversation about it. And then he's like, "No more talking about breasts. We're done. We're done.
We're done with this conversation.
We're done." So during this time, they realize that Alexander Kingsley has gone missing. He went absent and went missing. So they are trying to find him before any of the other people find him, because this room is not full of good people. It's full of like people that are going to like sell him on the black market. Like these are bad people. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're like to recapture him, and Evie comes up with a plan.
Sure.
And I don't know how Evie is fucking unhinged for this plan. So she announces, she gets like up on a table and she announces that whoever gets the frog, returns him back safely to them, will get a prize. And she looks to Fowler and she's like, "So what's the prize?" And he's like, "Oh, I would never step on your toes, Miss Evie. You tell him what the prize is." And she's like, "Son of a bitch. All right." So she goes, "The prize is being a night with the wicked women." Ridiculous.
And everyone scatters. They're like,
scatters.
"Say less. Say less." Where's the
However,
frog?
we have to come back to this frog hunt because we're going back to the manor. So back at the manor, Becky and Roland are fixing the thorny grove.
Oh my god.
Blade holds her hand and she's like, "You're holding my hand." And he's like, "Do you want me to stop?" And she's like, "No."
No, I was just saying.
And he asks her to dinner, and Roland says something along the lines of like, "If you don't say yes, you'll turn grandmother in her grave." And he's like, "Well, we don't want to, piss off your grandma."
Yeah.
And so she says yes to dinner, and then she kisses his cheek.
That's so cute.
During this time, the malevolent guards show up.
Okay, yeah.
With a screaming plant. The plant Becky's mom wanted to use to take Becky's magic in turn for a cure.
Oh my god.
And it has part of Nura's starlight in it.
Of course.
It was in Roland's room. And he gets put in a cell while Blade comforts Becky. And this is also what I hate, because if he kept saying, "Let me explain, let me explain, let me explain," and then they wouldn't take him away. And I'm like, oh my god. Just let people explain and see if their explanation is good enough for you at that moment. But
literally, why do we have to jump the gun? Like, "Hey, homie, why was this in your room?" And Roland would be like, "Oh, fuck.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I swear
or
to God, I
X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, no. So he gets put in a cell, and Blade is just comforting Becky.
Yeah.
Right? It's another sweet moment for them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we can get back to Fowler's house. So everyone fucking scatters except for the villain. He is like frozen in place, right? And he's like, "What the fuck?" So then he is walking so fast, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's using his magic to find Kingsley. And Evie can't catch up to him, basically. So he turns around, picks her up, throws her over his shoulder like a bag of potatoes, and is walking through this thing. He's like, he's over here, trying to find this thing, because he's like, no one's gonna have a night with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they finally find him, and this stupid frog.
This dumbass frog. Okay, to be fair, he's acting as a frog right now.
He's a dumbass
not
frog.
Alexander. He's just a frog.
Well, this dumbass frog is like on a branch outside of this balcony, and if he jumps, he's gonna jump to his death.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, "Son of a bitch." So Evie is like, "All right, well, I guess I'll go get him. You're too heavy for that branch. I'm not." And he's like, "The fuck you are? No, you're not." Well, Evie's stubborn, and she decides to jump off of it and get him. So as she's on this branch, inching towards Kingsley, trying to get him, the magic from Tristan explodes, basically, and blocks the wind so that she can be more steady on this branch. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "It's not me. It's just doing its thing." So she reaches out to touch the magic, and he groans. So he can, I guess, feel when she touches his magic.
I forgot that part.
Yeah, so did I. And I was like, wait a minute, what? So then she does it again. He's like, "Can you stop? Just get the frog."
I'd be like, "We are talking about that later."
Right. So she does that. She's like, all right. And she's like, she asks the miss, she's like, "Hey, can you get him? I can't reach him." And the miss is like, doesn't respond. So she's like, all right, I guess I got to get him. So she goes to reach for him. And of course, this dumbass frog decides to jump at that moment back to the balcony. It hits Tristan, knocking him down. And she's like, "What the hell?" And then all of a sudden, Evie's branch gives out. She jumps last minute, and she misses the balcony. Villain is freaking out. he gets up and he's like, what the Evie, and she is just hanging on the side of the balcony on a vine. And he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm getting, rid of the fear of my heights.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing a great job. So he's like, the fuck? So he starts pulling her up, and he's doing it quite fast because he wants her up, right?
Her up,
And
yeah.
He pulls her up to the balcony. As he's doing that, Kingsley's just kind of chilling on the balcony, and the destroyer comes back, and he picks up Kingsley, and he's like, I win, like, I get the night with the wicked woman. No, not according to Tristan. Tristan grabs the frog, grabs the destroyer, pushes him off the balcony to his death, and he's like, nope, Kingsley's with me. And the villain wins a night with Evie.
It's the trope of the two people, one bed, the one bed at the inn trope. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Well, Justine, you're gonna have to wait because we're heading back to Gideon and Keely.
I think this is why. Reading this book, I think that I threw it across the room because I was like, no.
Can I be honest with you? When I first read this book, I literally skipped these chapters until I got done with the good parts of Evie and the villain, and then I went back and read.
Don't blame you,
because I wanted to know what happened so bad at this night. So I literally went forward, read the night with Evie, and then I went back to read Gideon's POV.
I did not do that. I didn't do that. I read it through, and I didn't. Boiling. My blood was boiling the entire time.
Nope, I skipped it.
I was like, oh, wow. What a way to just like blue balls, right? Like, I don't understand why you would do this to us.
I know. It was, yeah, I got so frustrated. I was like, screw it. I'm skipping Gideon's chapter and going straight for it.
Oh my God, I don't.
And then I went back.
I
went back to Gideon's chapter. It was
so
great.
frustrating. Okay, Gideon. What's going on, Gideon?
All right. Gideon confronts Keely.
Yep.
He's like, hey, what I know you knew information you weren't supposed to know. I didn't snoop, but I found letters.
I didn't snoop.
Right. Addressed to you by a king saying that you're his daughter.
Yeah.
What is happening right now? And she's like, that's not King Benedict. They don't have his seal, his mark, or his signature. It's a way my nursemaid, or like the person that took care of me, would correct me for misbehaving, basically. So I guess in a lifetime before the Malevolent Guard, she would receive letters from her father as a king saying, hey, I heard you did this, I heard you did that, be good, like all this other stuff, yada, yada, yada. We also find out about the haircutting thing too.
Yeah.
Okay. So we also find out that if she did misbehave, I'm going to call her a nursemaid, the person that took care of her, essentially.
Her nanny or whatever.
Right. Would then hold her down and cut her hair. So that's why she doesn't like to cut her hair. And so they have this cute little moment, and he's like, all right, clearly it wasn't you then. You're not the traitor. Like, I'm just going to help you guys get this guarv. Call it a day. Justine, are you ready for the one bed trope?
One bed! I'm so excited.
The funniest thing about this whole one bed trope is that they laugh at the cliche of the one bed trope.
Yes, they do.
And they get into it. Okay, so Fowler's butler escorts them to this room, and it's called the Lover's Suite.
Of course
and
it is.
He's like, I'll bring up water, I'll bring up clothes and a bath for you guys. And he's like, okay, well, if she bathes, I'm going to stay out here. And he's like, nope, you guys got to stay in here.
You're
like,
literally
that's the whole thing.
In the house.
They are locked in this room. That's part of the whole thing. And they're like, oh, all right. And they see the one bed, and she's like, we can share it. And he's like, no, we're not sharing it. And then being tangled up together in the morning, she's like, I wasn't planning on that. He's like, no. And they're just talking about the whole cliche of it, which is funny. And he's like, okay, so a bath gets delivered. Okay. And he's like, all right, like, I'll wait outside. And the butler's like, if you come outside, then the destroyer gets to spend the rest of the night with Evie. And he's like, fuck that, I'll wait in here. And she's like, well, I need clothes. And he's like, I'll be back with those. And he's like, all right, cool. So he's like, why don't you take the first bath? And she's like, and she's having this whole thing with him, trying to rage bait him, essentially, this whole time, teasing him and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden she goes, you know what? This isn't fair. I'm going to stop. And he's like, what do you mean stop? And she's like, you're trying to be professional. You're trying to be nice. I'm teasing you about the mirror on the ceiling. And I'm teasing you about the butler's saying something about it being too rough when like I don't know what that means. And she's like, oh, I
Yeah.
know about that. I read dirty novels, like they're going out of fashion.
Yeah. She's like, trust me, I'm educated.
Right. So like she's like, it's not fair. You're trying to be professional. You're setting these boundaries and I'm clearly pushing them. I'm going to stop. And he's like, I don't want you to stop. Like he doesn't say that, but he thinks that, right? So he's like, why don't you go take a bath? You know, you go first. I'll turn the chair around. So he does. He turns the chair around and he sits it by the fire and he is struggling because there is a mirror on the ceiling and he is struggling not to look up. And his imagination is playing that, you know, he's like, I wonder what her shoulders look like or her legs and like, you know, her thighs, like everything.
Yep.
He's gripping the chair so hard, chunks of the wood coming off of the armchair. Like yeah. And she's like, okay, I'm going to get undressed now. And he's like, don't narrate.
Why are you telling me the play-by-play? I don't want it. If I wanted the play-by-play, I would turn around.
Right.
Would you like me to turn around?
Right. So he's like, don't narrate. And she's like, okay, like it's not that big a deal. It's fine, right? Well, at the same time this is going on and Evie's taking a bath, Claire decides to go back to the library and use some magical ink over the letters that were given to Alyssa. And unfortunately, they were written in regular ink, so there's nothing really happening with the magical ink. However, there is something familiar about the handwriting. More specifically, the T's in the handwriting. They're slanted. So she's like, that's weird. Like, that seems oddly familiar. And there's some splotches. And so the magic's starting to reveal what these splotches are. At the same time, Kingsley has been put on little house arrest. He has a ball and chain now on his foot, so that he can't go anywhere. But
it's for his own good.
Yeah, but he still is a dumb frog because he still goes absent-minded.
Yeah,
and he spills black ink all over the letter, ruining any clue there could have been on that.
All the evidence. Yep.
All the evidence is gone because Kingsley decided to knock over the ink, ruining the clue. And I'm like, okay. Tatiana, of course, because Claire can't go anywhere by herself, is also there with her when this all happens. And they're having their, cute little moments, but without having their cute little moments.
Yeah.
And Tati is there, and she's just wandering around the library, and she finds a hidden tunnel in the library.
Of course,
and she's like, "Let's go exploring." And Claire's like, "Absolutely not!" Like, no. And Tati's like, "Well, I'm going." And she starts walking in, and of course, Claire's like, "Well, wait for me! Like, I'm coming." I just thought it was the funniest thing. So they go exploring in this hidden tunnel. Okay. Villain has his back towards the fireplace, not looking as she bathes. Evie's like, "Hey, I'm done," and has a towel wrapped around her. And she's like, "But we have a problem." And he's like, "What's the problem?" And she's like, "I don't have any clothes." He never brought clothes to change back into. And so he then looks up, sees that she's in the mirror, and of course, the image is so much better than his imagination.
Right.
Decides to look back down and is like, "Okay, well, you can have my shirt." So he takes off his shirt and turns around so that she can put it on. She puts it on, and as he's taking off his shirt, of course, Evie's like drooling over Tristan's body. And he's not flexing; he's stretching.
This is not a flex. This is just
no.
I had a sore muscle.
He's stretching at this point, and so. He gives her the shirt. She puts it on, and this shirt is, of course, silk, and she is damp, so it clings to her in every part. And he unfortunately stares at her chest.
Yeah,
and he apologizes. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." She's like, "Why are you apologizing?" "I am not apologizing for looking at your chest. They're just nipples." And he's like, "Well."
Way to just throw him off, Evie. He doesn't know what to do.
Funniest thing, okay? So it's the funniest thing. She's not embarrassed because she wants to be looked at by him, and she's looking at him. You know what I mean? And he is losing every part of his resolve right now. Like, he is fraying, whatever you want to say. And Evie, again, in her head, decides that she's gonna stop teasing him because it's not fair. And she's like, I'm gonna stop. We're done with this. So, favorite quote comes up.
Oh gosh. Okay? Now we're done. Readers or listeners, I'm so sorry.
This is my
That is where we
favorite
end.
quote.
Uh-huh.
Evie's like, okay, in the spirit of, not teasing you, basically. She goes, what do you want? The bed or the chair? And he says, you.
Out loud? He says that out loud?
Loud. And she goes, what? And he goes, you. And then they end up kissing. Because he wants her. And they're going for it. They are making out. They are pushing each other and they're clawing at each other and they're kissing each other's necks and everything. Like we're going to hit a home run here, right? They're heavy. They get to the couch. She's straddling him, like everything. And Evie then in her head decides to stop. So she stops. And in the midst of this whole thing, he confesses, like, I have dreamt about you. Like I want you, all this other stuff. And she's like, well, what do you want? Do you want me now in this moment? Do you want me a month from now? Do you want me forever? And he's like, what? And she knows that the Destiny monster / plant told him something.
to him, yeah.
She knows why he doesn't cross that line with her.
Mm-hmm.
But until he accepts his own fate in his own life, living his own life, and wants her for everything and not just a night, then all he'll have are the dreams of her.
Which I get.
Which she then gets off of him and moves to the bed.
Evie. Yeah.
I mean, and she even says, she's like, I'm so proud of myself for being mature. I want a gold star for this. Like, she knows that she wants to give into this, but she also knows that she deserves love in the way that she gives love, unconditional, out there, not repressed, not just for a night, but forever.
I get it.
I know, it's very fucking frustrating, isn't it? It is very, very fucking frustrating. Yeah.
Jump on that man. Just do it. Just do it.
Not tonight. Not with the one bed trope.
Maybe if you just do it, he'll be like, you know what, Evie, I can't not do this all the time. Like, this is, yeah. And then he'll just go ahead and confess everything and they'll be happily in love.
I know. It was so frustrating. It was like the biggest cock block ever, I feel.
The biggest cock block ever.
Evie, you got in your own way, but I guess in a good way, but like at the same time.
Good for you, girl. I understand.
Right. Yes.
You should be loved and treated the way that you deserve to be loved and treated.
100%.
But you don't understand that he's already there.
Yes. He just doesn't want to admit it out loud.
He just doesn't want to admit it to anybody because he has a really hard time doing that. So, like, you just cock blocked yourself for no reason. No reason, Evie.
Like, Justine, it's okay because now we're going back to Gideon and Keely.
Now we're going back to Gideon. My head hurts.
So back with Gideon and Keely, they decide to go undercover as valiant guards to get the female Gwarv.
True.
Okay. Also back at the manor, Becky is sitting in the hallway. She is being comforted by Nora, nonetheless. She's like, oh, hey, this plant's gonna get crazy. I'm talking to Blade. Nora decides to leave. Blade shows up when a petal falls off and the plant explodes with the starlight. So Blade, of course, covers Becky to protect her. It doesn't hit anybody. It just explodes. It's fine. Everyone's fine. She looks at Blade and she goes, I love you. She kisses him, goes, I love you. Okay, bye. And then gets up and leaves. She's an awkward little girl. So then as she's leaving, another freaking plant or another freaking petal falls from the plant. Blade is following her because of what she just confessed.
Naturally.
Okay? And the starlight hits him in the head. That's right. He goes down. She rushes over to him. And he's like, I love you. Okay, bye. And then passes out.
Okay, bye.
And passes out. So they confess their love for each other in the cutest, funniest, weirdest way that works for them.
Weirdest Becky Blade way that could ever be done.
Literally, though. And it's the funniest thing in the world. And so now he's passed out and she's really worried about him and they're going to have to figure that out, I guess. But I thought that was cute. Moving on to Tati and Claire. We got to get all three of our freaking couples in.
Claire and yep. What do we think Evie and the villain are doing right now while we're in the other
sleeping.
perspectives?
They're sleeping. Yeah, remember,
They're
she's in the bed, he's in the chair.
sleeping.
They're sleeping.
Yes.
So moving on to Tati and Claire. When they go down this hidden tunnel, they find another hidden room. And in their room is like Lord Fowler's, all his treasures and things like that. And they find that the wand is being this is the weirdest thing I thought. The wand is being used as a horn on a unicorn like statue.
Oh my god, that's right.
So they're like, don't touch anything. And of course, Tati's touching everything. And then she's like, oh, look at that, I'm flying, and puts it down, and then she's fine. And so then she grabs the wand, and they're like, oh, look at that, nothing happened. And then the walls start like closing in on them. So Claire's like, oh shit. She brings out this orange powder ink thing. She throws it. It creates a big hole, and they escape, right? When they escape, they end up in the lover's suite where Evie and Tristan are.
Of course they did, because these four don't do anything without each other. Right. Of course they end up in the lover's suite.
So they end up in the lover's suite. And of course, when they barge in, obviously, Evie wakes up out of her sleep, gets her dagger, and she's like, she's swinging because she doesn't know who it is. Tristan just grabs her by the waist and is like, could you stop? Like, it's
like, take a breath.
And she's like, oh, okay. So then she stops, and they're like, let's go before Lord Fowler comes up with any more ridiculous ideas to like lock us in here together. Like, let's just leave. We have the wand. Let's go. And they're like, cool. We found stairs over here that lead out. And they're like, cool. They go down the stairs. They go out. Guess who's waiting for them outside?
Is it the Valiant Guard?
Is it what?
Is it the Valiant Guard?
No.
Who is it?
It's Fowler. He knew all this was gonna happen because he's like exactly what I expected, villain. And so Lord Fowler meets them outside. He gives them provisions, gives them horses, gives Evie clothes. He's like, go ahead, like you have the wand. However, I do have to tell you something about the wand. So a while back, the wand was broken into two.
Of course,
and they need the glass slippers for it to work properly. So the person has to be wearing glass slippers and use the wand at the same time for it to work. And guess who has the glass slippers?
Who?
Amara. Tristan's mom.
Oh my god. Of course she does. Oh my god, of course she does. That's right. They have to go to Tristan's village.
Yeah. Yeah. So now they have to go visit the bitch Amara. Anyway, so they're like, okay, well, it's not great, but it's doable, right?
Yeah.
They're thinking it's doable. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be a fun time, but it's doable.
It's going to be torturous, but
as they're talking about this, they hear like a horrible loud screech, and Evie's like, what the hell is that? Turns out that one of Lord Fowler's towns, right, is protected by a purple phoenix.
Yeah.
Well, it was protected by the purple phoenix. Since the magic is waning, it is now angry and it hurts the people. And Evie is pissed the fuck off that Fowler is doing nothing to help his innocent people. He's like, that's not my job. Maybe next month. I do one good thing a month. And she's like, fuck you. Those are innocent people. I'm going to save the village. And he's like, don't be a hero. And she's like, never. Anyway, gets on the horse, runs right into the village with the phoenix, and the phoenix is like blowing fire and like blowing things up, and she has to save a child. Like, it's destruction.
Crazy,
and of course, everyone's following her, including the villain. And he's like, don't go towards it. Like, don't. And she's like, you said it was like you. I'm gonna give it a hug. So she gives the bird a hug. And turns out the bird's not angry. It's just hurt and scared and alone. So Tristan says,
the one to figure that out.
Right. So and Tristan's like, hey, if you ever need a place, why don't you go hang out in the mountains for right now until we get the magic back? And if you need a place, you have a place at Masker Manor. And the bird is like, okay. Evie also ended up getting hurt during this whole time. So then the bird like blows fire on it or whatever and heals her. So she's fine now. But the whole thing is that everyone knows and sees the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And they see him do this, and they're like, what are you, like a hero now? Like an anti-hero? Like, what is going on? He's like, no, never, I'm the villain, blah, blah, blah. But a little girl is like, thank you, Mr. Villain, like, all this other stuff. And he's like, oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you're okay. Where's your like, he's
always to the little nuggets. He's always like, oh, no,
it's little good. Hypocrite he is.
Yeah, exactly.
The best
the
way.
Villain.
Yeah, really, though. So now they think that the villain and the staff are like some type of heroes because they decided to save their village and from the purple phoenix. And I don't understand exactly hugging the bird helped, but whatever. It's Evie's world. We're just living in it.
Right. Exactly.
So they're talking and they're like, hey, by the way, Tati, just so you know, I have a contact that we need to meet up with to help us get into, into Amara's and stuff like that. And she's like, oh no, please tell me you didn't. And Evie's like, what? And he's like, we're going to see Jellyfish Jones. And she's like, oh, okay, who's Jellyfish Jones? Turns out to be Tatiana's father.
Tati's father.
Tatiana's father.
Yes.
So that is also where we stop for today.
Ah,
I know.
lots going on.
So much happened.
Okay, but more I think happens in the next 20 some chapters.
Yes,
so,
it does. It's like every freaking chapter.
A lot happens in this book, and it's nuts. Yeah. So let's talk about your points here.
Okay,
let's
so
talk
my
about what
point,
we hit on.
The villain stealing a drawing that Evie did of him and keeps it with him.
Swoon.
How freaking adorable.
Yeah.
I had to mention that because like that is, and she doesn't know that he has it.
I'm noting Swoon.
And it's just the sweetest little thing. I also love that Evie reads smut.
Yes, queen.
Like the way she's like, I read dirty. She's like, honey, I know what having it rough means. I read dirty novels like it's running out of style. And I'm like, girlfriend over here reading smut. It also reminded me of Nesta.
Yes, that's the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah.
Nesta. And we all know that Justine is a Nesta stan. So
yes.
I love that for Evie.
Again, I think I mentioned Lissa having the rules on how to be a villain during tea time. Yes. And then I love that she also uses them against Becky all the time.
Yeah.
Like she'll be like, Becky, that's not nice manners. And she's like, you're supposed to be a villain. She's like, rule 3 of villainry. You can be mean, but you have to have manners.
You have to have manners. Like, and that's so true. Yeah. I love that Tristan is like, okay, yeah, I'll give you a list of like things. I just think that's so, it's like his little sister.
Yes.
Like he's
just like adopted her.
Taken that under his wing. Yeah. That is his sister. And that's it.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
So, and of course, the nickname, the little villain.
The little villain.
And he's like, what do you want, you little villain?
Like, and she loves it.
Yeah, she giggles and she's like, loving it. And Evie's over here like, am I doing the right thing by bringing her here? Like, she's like sometimes actually genuinely questioning if she's raising Lissa right, because she's like, should she be calling little villain?
The things that Lissa is learning.
She's locking people up in closets. She's doing these things. She's playing games. Like, what? Okay.
I think she's turned out just fine.
I think she's great.
She's turning out better than she would have.
I mean, I don't think she's going to school or getting education right now, but
that's fine. I think she's educated enough. She's
right. Yeah, it's fine.
There has to be a tutor or something in the manor, right?
Thing, right?
They have everything else. I guarantee you they are tutoring her in something.
Yes, I agree. And then my final point is just, again, everybody's love for her, for Lissa. And even Evie knows it. She's like, you don't need a whole village to raise a kid. Turns out you only need an office. You know, and like,
so sweet.
I know. And like, it's just like how literally not a single person was like, ew, get this kid away from me. Or like, why is there a kid here? Like, every single person loves Lissa and takes them up to their wing and everything. And I just think that's the sweetest.
I love that so much.
I know. It's the cutest.
It's like a goal of every parent to make sure that their kid is like surrounded by
people that love them,
as much love as possible, so that if you're ever not there, they know who to go to. So I just think it's so sweet that Lissa has all of these people, and like for all different reasons. Like she goes to people for different things. Like Blade is like the goofy, fun one who will let her help train the dragon.
Right. Yeah.
Talk to the Guarv, and like Becky teaches her actual life lessons, and the villain teaches her how to be a villain. And like, it's just so cute. Edwin bakes with her. So like, she just has like a bunch of these different teachers and support systems for like a bunch of different things. I think it's so cute.
No, I think it's the best, and especially because like she's also a 10-year-old, but she has been through a lot, so I think she's a little bit more mature.
Yeah,
because there's even scenes with her and Becky where Becky's like really worried about Blade being unconscious, and she's like, Becky, it's okay to cry. I think the bravest people cry.
Oh,
because they're
that's so
showing their
sweet.
feelings.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're a 10-year-old. What the fuck? Who? All right.
I was preaching over here.
All right, girlfriend. Sure,
I
sure,
love
sure.
that. I
Sure.
mean, she's
Love that.
right. She's right. I couldn't imagine Becky and Blade. I feel like that's the most perfect way for them both to tell each other that they love each other.
Yeah, I feel like though, and this is where I think a novella would have really helped because I feel like
Yeah.
because it's not the main focus, but she still wanted to mention it, it happened very quickly.
It happened super quick. Yeah, I can see that.
It was like flirt, 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 I love you. And it's like, whoa.
I can see that.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like obviously Becky has been having some feelings like leading
Yeah.
up to this book, and clearly Blade has. But yeah, I do agree that she like went to Tati and Evie and she's like, hey, I think that I, have an infatuation with Blade. And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, a day and a half later, she tells him that she loves him. So it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Quick.
It was pretty, I think, pretty quick on their aspect. Kind of, I mean, they didn't confess it, but they're just kind of hinting at it now with Keely and Gideon too.
Yeah.
Like they hated each other, but they would bicker, and now they're like, okay, like you're not that bad, you're kind of smart, you're gorgeous, kind of thing. So, but they're also, I feel like leading up to that as well.
I feel like that too. But then all these people, something has to give. Then, like something has to go wrong because she's setting up all of these people to love each other, and
there are glances between Tati and Claire and like moments and stuff like that, but like they're still very firm on not getting back together right now
yet.
Yes
Because
Tati's like, you need to figure out like what you want to do and your shit, because Tristan was never the problem in our relationship, it was your mom.
And of course, where are they going?
To the mom's house.
Mama dearest.
And the mom actually hates Tristan too. So
I don't understand meeting Arthur and his clear love for his children.
Yeah, but he was never there.
He wasn't there, but how is he still with their mom? Yeah.
I think it's more for the kids, maybe.
The kids are grown. The kids are grown. They are out of the house.
Maybe divorce isn't like a thing in this world. I don't know.
I don't know, girl. But I'm just saying,
I think honestly, I think it's more of the fact of like at the time they probably were in love at one point, and they had Claire and they had all three kids, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, you raise the kids because I gotta go do my and like he was never home. So I feel like that also probably causes stress on their relationship as well. And then she becomes a bitch, or she was always a bitch, I don't really know. And then he was so absent from it that I don't think he knows really to an extent that side of her.
Yeah.
And he's just, I mean, he was, I don't even know where she lives, but she doesn't live near Tristan, and they were at a party in which he has quite frequently near his house. In her village.
You're right,
so I'm like,
you're right.
So
he
he's
probably
having
still
these parties,
travels.
he probably still travels a lot. So he probably doesn't see her. And when he does, it's probably like, oh my God, I love you. Mwah, and then leave again.
And then they're leaving again. Yeah.
Right.
I just can't not see her as a cunt 95%.
Oh yeah, no, it's horrible.
So like I can't see him coming home and her being like, "Oh, I missed you." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like
I think it's more of the fact that they were probably in love at one point.
At one point.
Now just like, she's my wife, he's my husband.
It's convenient.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Type of thing.
Well,
maybe a little more, but like not much. I feel. I don't know what the relationship is. That's one of the relationships we don't get to look into. We get to look into everybody else's.
But that's one that I'm actually curious about.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also curious about Griffin and Nora.
Yeah.
How you know what I mean? Like down. How did because I mean, Gideon was siphoning her magic for a while. Like, how do you convince your son to do that?
Did she know? Like, did she know he was doing that?
And then like was that why she had bad days? Because she was siphoned from her magic? Like, it's just like, and how are they still? I mean, they're I guess still technically married.
I mean, technically they are, yeah. Because she's not a human anymore. They had said that she's not a human; she's a star. So, like, is she dead? Is she?
Wait, she's just an actual star in human form?
Yeah. In Apprentice, it says when they put the piece back in, Evie says, "My mom's not a human anymore; she's a star."
Right, but then she comes back down. So
But then she comes back
down to being human?
I
Couldn't tell me. Okay. I don't know either. We're asking too many questions for people that like to read off the vibe.
yeah. I think what we need to do is ask Hannah and see what she thinks.
What she thinks.
Will she tell us? Probs not, but I'd love to know. But we get deep dive into Amara, Maehrer, and Tristan and Claire's relationship in the next episode.
Some fun things happen.
Some fun things happen. And then we get to learn a lot about Kingsley. Like it's very Kingsley focused in the next couple chapters. So if you are interested, come back and watch or listen next week, depending on where you get your podcasts, and finish reading Accomplice so that we don't spoil anything for you, because there's some big spoilers coming up here soon, y'all.
Big time cliffhangers too, for sure.
It's because Hannah does that best, just the cliffhangers.
Yes, she does.
But we will see all of you next week. Thank you so much for book clubbing with us today.
See ya.
Bye.